Hello, everyone. My name is Robert Thomas. I'm coming here from Denver, Colorado, and I am one of the co-leads to our conference planning committee. Let's see. Does someone want to read our mission statement since Kent's not on yet?
Yeah, I have it here.
Thank you, Jewel.
At least this is on the front page. I think this is the mission statement. Prisons to Partnerships welcomes individuals and groups to share ideas and resources and make connections that foster a community committed to transforming the narrative around incarceration and reentry for individuals, families, and organizations. And I'm Judy Flattery, and I'm coming to you from Santa Barbara, California. And Saturday, I was visiting a reentry facility down in Torrance with Defy Ventures.
And you're on one of our committees as well. Thank you. Yeah, if everyone would like to, we'll go around and raise your hand. Give you a 30-second or less intro. State your name, where you're from, your relationship to the community, if you're a part of Prisons to Partnership, or you're incarcerated or formerly incarcerated, or a family member of an incarcerated member, or some other organization that's related.
I can time for you, Robert. I can time for you. Just tell me what you want.
30 seconds or less. Okay. And who would like to go first?
I can go first. I'm quick. I'm Mark Mellonwood. I actually have no relationship to this community other than this. I got enrolled by Neil in his conversation at CGT at one point about second chances. And I felt it was a way for me to possibly have a hand in helping reform the prison community, which I felt was necessary.
Thank you. Tony?
Yeah, I'm Tony Villano. I got enrolled by Peg here. We both did the wisdom course together, and Vaughn told me we ought to talk, and so I'm here and I'm on the planning committee.
Awesome. Thank you. Peg?
So I love this group. We are going to reform the prison system. We're that clearing for the world. And so anyway, welcome.
And you're coming from where?
Oh, I live in the Bay Area, East Bay.
Okay.
Yeah, of
Thank
California.
you.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go through my screen. Danny?
Hi, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Can you hear me? Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
This wasn't working last week. Hi, I'm Denny Doran. I'm in Dallas, Texas. And I was presented with the possibility of participating with this group and knew nothing about what it's really like inside the prison system. I realized in meeting y'all that I knew less than zero about it. So I started coming to weekly meetings, and we finally had a conference. And I worked for years on the street with homeless guys and homeless artists, and a lot of them had done time. And all of my best artists had done time. All the very, very most creative ones had done time. And this is my opportunity to participate with that community at a deeper level.
Thank you, Danny.
Thank you.
Teresa, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi, I'm Teresa Kiddo. I'm from Saline, Michigan. And Danny initially invited me to this group. He's been in correspondence with my son, Michael, who is currently serving a life sentence in Ohio with life without parole. And so I'm a family member. We're in the process of appeal.
Thank you. Glad you're here again. Chris?
Hi, I'm Chris McLaughlin. I'm here because my husband Kent spent 39 months in a federal prison between 2018 and 2021. And and you know, he's a part of this group, although his computer, he's managing to get online finally. Neil actually and Kent did a lot of work together in Landmark through the wisdom course and partnership explorations. And Neil, when he was in team management and leadership program, he and Kent did a lot of collaborating. And Kent is, there he is. I see him now. So anyway, this is why I'm a part of it, because I, as a family member, do know it's a horrible place to be. And it's, you know, there's nothing just about it. It's completely unjust.
Thank you. Neil?
Hello.
Yeah.
Well, as Chris said, I started Prisons to Partnerships with the help of a lot of you on the call and the help of the Team Management and Leadership Program got it started. Right now, I participate with a group called Prison Entrepreneurship Program. I was at a transition house just on Saturday, and I'm mentoring a guy who's come out of prison. Yeah, so I stay involved. Thank you.
All right. And for the people just getting on, state your name, where you're from, and then any relation to this community that has you be here. Linda?
Linda Russell. The QBQ is just fake for finding me on all the social media. And I love Neil. I met him on team and a lot of other programs, and I just want to support it. And when I saw Deborah was speaking today, I said, oh, I need to come. And so I'm skipping another program I usually have on Mondays at 5 p.m. to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. Kent?
Well, because Chris said, Kent McLaughlin, live in Spokane Valley, Washington. My reason for being here is I'm a founding member of P2P, and I am formerly incarcerated, and I'm currently, I applied 10 months ago for early release from supervised release, and I'm still waiting to have something happen on that.
And you're part of the board. Thank you. Karen? Name, where you're from, what your relation to the community, and we can't hear you.
Can't hear you, Karen.
Nope. Nope, can't hear you. You probably got your headset connected.
Push
Okay. Tracy?
Hi, Tracy Hunt. Proud member of Prisons to Partnerships. I've been with the group for, a year or so. And I go to prison as often as I can. Thank you.
Thank you. Tina? Would you like to introduce yourself? I know you're off camera.
Tina's my friend, by the way. She's with the Skid Row Running Club. And we've gone into Norco and San Quentin together.
Awesome.
Tina, you gotta unmute yourself.
Okay.
Hi, I'm
Sure.
so sorry. I was just sitting here with some other people, so I was muting myself.
No worries. Thank you. All right.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for your work you do for the community. All right. Who's introducing Deborah? And then Deborah can tell her story.
So I met Deborah, I don't know, 10 or 15 years ago, and doing wisdom with Landmark. And she's always been an inspiration to me. And when I heard of her situation, I immediately thought to invite her to this group, that she would be a welcome addition. And I invited her to speak, and she said yes, and I'll let Deborah tell her story.
Welcome, Deborah. And you're muted. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Robert. I was aware of P2P through Neil, of course, through inquiry exploration and inquiry exploration. So I've been aware of this program or this group. And I'm here now because very recently, at the end of March, my son has been jailed in Texas, near Austin. So at first I was in shock. I'm pretty much still in shock, but I was in shock and couldn't talk about it. So now I'm in shock, and I'm aligning to a new reality. And Mark invited me to come and speak, and that's why I'm here. Very raw and here in the beginning of a process. In my bio, I talked about being an educator, and I want to bring that up first because my focus always, I work with young children, 3rd grade and 4th grade, has always been literacy. And always, the whole time that I've been an educator, I work with students at the bottom of the socioeconomic ladder in Tucson. And those students grow up and run drugs and get pregnant at an early age. So I focused on literacy so that they could have a choice. Because I know that is an issue with many people that are in prison, that they are not functionally literate. So that was always what always was in my mind as I'm teaching literacy to young children, that they could have a choice. So fast forward to all these years later, my son in March, at the end of March, was arrested and put into jail, and he is guilty of things that he's been charged with. So he's going to be doing prison time. I don't know how much. And the hard thing for me right now is that he is out of communication. I've asked for permission to have communication with him, and he has not responded that I can have communication with him, nor any member of my family. So the whole family has no communication with my son. My son is 41, and it's been a huge shock. He's one of my favorite people on the planet, and he's charged with burglary. He's charged with evading arrest, resisting arrest. Those are his charges. And I don't know about the burglary, but I know about the resisting arrest and the evading arrest. I'm sure he did those things. I'm sure he's guilty of that. So I don't know how much time he's looking at, but it's going to be an amount of time. So I have to come to be at peace, or come to some kind of peace with this new reality. One of my favorite people in the world is out of my life and not allowing communication, and it's just left like a gigantic hole. And what do I do going forward? I'm on a new path. I'm on a new path now. And one hands-on thing that I want to do to be of contribution is to do what I can in teaching literacy. I researched and found out that in Arizona, if people want to be released early, they have to read at an 8th grade level, and they have to pass a test that they read at an 8th grade level, which I thought is really pretty fabulous. So I am going to teach. It's not set up yet, but I'm going to become part of that, part of literacy in our local facility. As a hands-on contribution. All right. And that's really my story. That's what I have to share with you. I'm at the beginning of a process. I'm still sort of in shock a lot. It's very raw. And that's where I am. Oh, and I wanted to tell Tracy, Tracy is the one who gave me the link for this during Conference for Global Transformation. She sent it to me, and that's how I got here. So thank you very much, Tracy. Yeah, I'm still in shock. So I'm building a new life, right? And so you all are part of my new reality. And I have to take a lot of deep breaths.
Yeah. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
And in community, everything is possible. Right. So like, that's why we're here, is to create that community that, for family members and incarcerated and formerly incarcerated. So, thank you for taking on what there is to take on, in this new chapter of a book that you didn't intend to be a part of. Yeah, I got it.
Well, I wanted to, but only as a preventative, right? Which is why I've been teaching literacy, vigorously teaching literacy. As a preventative, that's what I wanted to be a part of, so that what I'm experiencing now, would not be
for any other parent. Yeah. Yeah, totally got it. Thank you. Well, do questions and answers, and that'll help, tell a little bit more, Deborah, if that's okay. Just for everyone, she'll have to leave at 55 after the hour. So we'll make sure that we try and get to everyone. Karen, can you talk now?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can.
I never know this stupid microphone. Yes, I just wanted to say, I didn't get to introduce myself, Deborah. I'm a mother that had a son incarcerated at 15. And he was charged with attempted murder. And yes, you go into shock. I went into shock, and I was just kind of in a whirlwind. And then I got coaching from someone from Landmark in the family area, and she told me essentially what she coached me in is being a stand for Jeffrey, and that's what I took on, being a stand for him. You can't do anything about the circumstances, but you can stand for him, for what you want to have happen. It's really strange, but I stood that he wouldn't be tried as an adult, and he wasn't tried as an adult. I stood for him to have a minimum charge, and he got only 2.5 years. So doing that with that commitment, I had to get into that commitment. But doing that created, like you're doing, a purpose for you is teaching children literacy, and I think that's great. That's great. I mean, that's awesome. So you're on the right path. You're doing great. I know, man, it comes in waves, or it did come in waves for me. I'd be okay for a little while, and then all of a sudden I'd get, go into I guess, depression. I don't know. I don't know exactly what it was, but anyway, I just wanted to say that to you that, yeah, we're here for you, and it's really great to have you in our group.
Thanks,
Karen,
Miss
thank
Karen.
you. I appreciate that. And I want to say that I am a stand that this is a miracle and that it's the best thing that could have happened. And I don't
Yeah.
have to know what it's going to look like. That's my stand for my kid.
Right. Good. Yeah, that's right. That's all you can do. I mean, when this happened, I didn't have any clue, and when it happened, I didn't realize that the state takes your child away from you because he was underage. I thought that we would be able to do stuff for him and do, you know, whatever. No, we were not allowed to talk to him about any of it because his lawyer said, no, don't talk to him about anything that happened because if you're on during the trial, you could be called to testify against him. Yeah. And your privilege, like our privileges were taken away. We were no longer the guardians of our son. The state was.
Yeah.
It's very strange. Very, very strange.
Welcome, Hope, and welcome, Dana. You can raise your hand when you if you want to introduce yourself or ask a question. Kent.
So I'm going to speak to having been incarcerated. When I got arrested and that, there was a part of me that did not want, as much as I loved my wife, I was so ashamed that I didn't want to, and I don't know if she even knew it, but I was so ashamed that I didn't want to talk to her. I didn't want to, but I gave that up in service of knowing that she and a very good friend, Monica, were a lifeline for me. And also, probably you can find his registration number and the address of his prison, where he's incarcerated, and you could write him. Anybody can write, because it's a public information. Is his on the prison's website would have his. You can find his incarceration number, and you could write to him. But remember, though, if you do write, they read everything that's written. So it's not a private thing. So it'd be a way for you at least to express that you're there for him whenever he's ready for you to be back in, or when he's ready to come back into your life. So that's would be my thought from having been inside the system, that no, you can't. He has to approve your calling and that, but anybody can write to him. So you could do that.
The procedure is that I can write to him, but the letter is sent to Florida. They will scan the letter and put it into a format that he can get it on the computer. So he still has to agree to use the computer to see the letter.
Oh.
That's how it's done at this facility.
That's just more of their control. I would still do it. I would still write the letter. And because it gives him another opportunity to choose. I was blessed. I got to be out on release, on supervised release before my trial. So Jan McHenry, former forum leader, good friend of ours, he reviewed. I got to do a 45-minute review with him over the phone of the Landmark Forum. So I got to go in taking in. My mantra was, "This is it, and I'm satisfied, and all is well, and this is what the world looks like when it's working." So, it's one that I just quit. I created a new mantra in the recently, but for a long time I lived under that one. So, even for you, remembering that this is it and you're satisfied, and this is what the world looks like when it's working, will give you power in the face of whatever is going on. And, again, I invite you just to write him and give him an opportunity to choose again.
Okay. Thank you, Kent.
Yeah.
We-
And
Linda, go ahead.
and one other thing is, I'll put my email in the chat. And if you want to get hold of me and ask questions or that, I was in federal system, which was probably the best system to be in, but I still spent almost 4 years behind bars with my freedom. And my wife also has the experience of what it's like to be a family member. So we're both available for you, and we've been around Landmark for 40 some years. So I'll put my email in the chat.
Thank you. Linda.
Yes. Oh, I'm wondering about my promise for the world and how it could relate and be used in situations like these. My promise for the world is all people shifting their right, wrong stories to workable, unworkable stories. So that when you're looking at something like this, you're not looking at it as right, wrong, good, bad, but looking at it as workable, unworkable, like maybe parts are workable and parts are unworkable. I love what Kent said about this is the way the world looks like when it's working. But there's sometimes the world looks odd when it's not really working. But if you can look at it that way, it feels to me like something shifts. And I would guess that people who are in situations like this would really feel bad, like they did something wrong. I know all my life I felt bad, like I can't do anything right. Everything I do is wrong. And it's just I feel like I was locked in a cage. And I still keep last night I locked myself back in that cage again because I asked somebody a question, and in my mind it was not a good question. I had asked a wrong question, and I somehow in my mind I should have known better. And so I told the people when I got out of the car not to worry, they wouldn't have to give me a ride anymore. I would drive myself. So it's that's all. I just if the idea of shifting something from right, wrong to workable, unworkable is hopeful, feel free to use it. And I'm sorry whenever anyone's locked in a right, wrong, because it's really a sad place to be if you can get to the sad. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone got, and Deborah, anything you want to add, or while we wait for other people to raise their hand for questions? Maybe not. Are you able to get off mute?
I'm ready for the next sharing.
Okay. All right. Hope or Dana, do you want to introduce yourself? Name, where you're from, and your relation to this community.
Hope says, hi, everyone. This isn't my first meeting. My mic isn't working.
Got
Thank you,
it.
Hope.
Welcome. Dana? Maybe not. All right, Judy, you've got your hand up.
Yeah, just wanted to share for Deborah that I was oblivious to this whole world of incarceration, and in my life didn't know anybody who ever was incarcerated. I am a mother. I have a son around that age. And I can just imagine what it would be like to, I mean, I can't quite imagine if all of a sudden something like that happened to him and to us and our family. But a couple of years ago, I became connected to someone who was incarcerated through writing back and forth and started volunteering in California state prisons. And I have found it to be just incredibly rewarding and quite an education. The good, the bad, the ugly. Also educating myself, reading certain books, certain documentaries, always interested. And so for me, it was very worthwhile to find organizations that go into prisons to do volunteer work. And it has me kind of connected to that world. And I hear what you're saying about having a passion for literacy and making a difference for guys who are incarcerated. And that what we found, Tracy and I both volunteer, others of us do too, is there's a cohort within every prison of guys who are interested in getting out, who have hope for the future and are working to rehabilitate themselves. And you'll be able to connect with those guys in whatever prison you go to, if you find an organization that's working on something similar to that. So that's what I have to say. We find it really inspiring. We go back every time we can, right, Tracy? Mhm. Thank you.
Thank you. Tracy?
Deborah, I got your love for your son and that he's one of your favorite people. And I get how difficult it is for you right now, not being in communication with him. And whether it's, like somebody said, his embarrassment or, shame, whatever it is, he's not responding to you, right? Yeah. He knows you love him. He doesn't get the impact, right? His impact. He's dealing with himself right now. Yeah. So you have not done anything wrong. And there's a lot of people here that love you and support you. And him too. Yeah, we're totally there for him. Okay.
Thank you for that, Tracy. I appreciate it.
Tony?
Yeah, for me, I have a Casa kid who sometimes doesn't respond to me. Sometimes, well, he's been in and out of prison since we've been together, which is about a little over like 27 months. And I'm never sure that I'm effective in making a difference with him. And I finally realized that all I can do is continue to say, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here.
Okay.
And if he doesn't respond, it doesn't mean anything about me, about our relationship. It is a bit hard to do. There is a priest who is making a difference and has made a difference in LA in gangs, Greg Boyle. And if you get a chance to watch any of his videos, he's so bloody inspiring that it will help a lot.
Thank you.
Feel free to put one of those that channel in the chat there, Tony, if you can. So on, welcome. Would you like to introduce yourself, where you're from, and your relation to this community?
Yes. My name's Soan, aka Brad Long. I'm from Toledo, Ohio, and I'm connected to this community with Denny Doran and with Teresa Kiddo. And this is my second time on here. I'm a correspondent with Michael, Teresa's son, and me. You know, that's how we sort of got connected. The weird connection of Denny being involved with you all guys, and him and me connecting after a couple decades, and just really kind of amazing that we're here doing this. So that's so that's my connection. I'm just glad to be here.
Glad
Good
you're
to
here.
see you all.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Kent, you have your hand back up?
Yeah, something else I want to share with you is that, and Tony and Judy and Tracy can certainly speak to this also, that taking on being someone who comes and goes into prisons to do whatever you're doing, you are so respected. You are a lifeline to the outside. And it was just one of the greatest things. I took the road of being a Christian in prison, and we got to have outside Bible study people come in and that, and it was just so wonderful to get to have Neil also and Karen, that being able to go into a prison, you make such a difference. So I invite you, if you start going into prison, to do it in service of your son. You know, have it be that you're doing this in service of your son, so that you actually begin to get inside, to get to know what it's like for what he's going through, so you can actually admire him and support him and actually have a different connection with him than you do as a parent with no experience of what it's like to be behind the bars. Because if you talk to Tracy or Judy or any of them that are in prisons regularly, it is not the same world. Just the going in and what you have to give up just to go in, or even if you go and get to visit your son, what you have to give up in order to go visit him. It is shocking, but it actually gives you a different place to stand and gives you a different way to love and honor him. So I invite you to, with all your heart, because I can tell how much you love him, go in, and I know can tell you love teaching. Go in and start teaching. You know, don't put it off. Don't. It'll actually start healing you. That's it for me. I'll call on Neil.
Yeah, on top of what Kent just said, it's very important, and Kent knows from it firsthand, and you know, so do I, and a number of people, when you come in and you visit. And I know it's inconvenient. You know, I was talking to Teresa, and I don't want to start crying. You know, she has to drive 4 hours Hope don't mind me saying that, Teresa. For her son, that's 4 hours there and 4 hours back. And I got your son is out of communication, Deborah. For whatever reasons, we don't know. But as Ken said, you could still be a stand. And you could look at, and I'm sure you do, you're in this work powerfully, your own relation. Oh, sorry. Dana, you gotta mute.
Sorry.
Yeah, to really look at your relationship, to really explore that, to open it up so you can fully love him. Because in your speaking, you said, I think you said, if I misquote you, I apologize. He deserved some of that. But we don't know what people deserve. I don't know what people deserve or not. But what we do know is our love. And if anything's in the way of that, anything, even the minutest thing, I would work it. And that's what I was telling Teresa too about the power of landmark, to work that stuff on our own without, the person inside is going to have to figure out their own way. But if they have you to help them, that's going to make a big difference. That's all I got to say. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Let's see. Anyone else? I'll just give an announcement. So our next community gathering will be July 14th, from 5 to 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. Make sure you and this will be recorded and placed on our website to be reviewed sometime this week. All
I thought
right.
these calls are only an hour.
And then we have it. And then if anyone wants to hang out, we hold the space if possible. So, but Deborah won't be able to stay the whole time. But if anyone else wants to, we'll hold that space. All right. Anything else that comes to mind, Deborah, that from all this wonderful unsolicited advice? No.
Well, I tell you how I'm feeling. At the beginning of this whole process, I was feeling like everything was so impossible.
Yeah.
And what I'm feeling now is it's the beginning. It's the beginning of a new journey. And there's community, and I'm not alone. And I can have grief, and I can still be in action. And I'm going to be in action. I'm definitely going to be in action in a way that I'm very passionate about. So
Yeah.
I'm at the beginning of a journey where I can be contribution, which actually is really important to me. And I think that's part of why it's difficult to be out of communication with my son. Because I can be no contribution. I can hold space, and that's what I can do.
Yeah. I got that.
And Neil, I didn't say that my son deserved. I don't think I said those words. I said that he did some of the things that he is accused of. He did them.
Yeah.
I don't know how many of those things, but I know definitely some of them.
Yeah. Got it. Now, like, as graduates, there is that space that we get to create ongoingly a new realm of possibility of what shows up. And in the face of circumstances, we can choose an empowering context. And then, right? And then, continually declare a breakdown, with what you're committed to, and have the feelings be the feelings, because they're just the feelings. And and then because you're a parent going through this, there'll be other family members. Like how you get to show up, it will get revealed. Like that contribution, like it will show up. Like, you know, there are no coincidences on who crosses your path, right? And so like that I do trust that you're in the you're you and the eternal and the community. All things are possible. Yeah, and you get to bring fun, play, and ease to it all, even when it sucks, or you say it sucks. It occurs as it sucks. Right? You just get to say something new and do something new about it. So
We've
yeah,
got a bunch of
and
people with their hands raised, Robert.
I got that now.
Yeah.
So, thank you. All right, Kent.
Just real quickly, going on what Robert said, there's a quote: "More things are wrought by prayer than this world dreams of. Therefore, let thy voice rise like a fountain night and day." So, you know, you have a say in the matter. You can go ahead and continue to pray and create a future for him and yourself. And I'm going to end it there so someone else can share.
Teresa, and then Judy.
Hi, Deborah. I want to thank you for sharing your story, and my heart goes out to you. I can't imagine not being able to speak with my son. I went through that for a very short period when he was 17 and left home, and didn't bring a phone or anything, but ended up buying a phone after 3 or 4 days and gave me a call, and it was hell. Those 3 or 4 days of not being able to talk to him or know that he was safe. And so my heart really goes out to you. And my advice, and it sounds like you're doing that, is the best you can do is take care of yourself right now. Because you can't give anybody anything unless you have the strength and take good care of yourself. In terms of trying to get my reaction to things is usually to do stuff, to look things up, to read, to do whatever I can, and that kind of stops me sometimes from feeling all the feelings too, though, and then it comes to me in waves at different times when I do stop to slow down. But I'm at a good point now because it's been some time. But I do know Kent was saying that the letters and it's now on tablets where my son is, and they scan it also from someplace else for him to get it. The issue with that is he has to have money on an account, a data account, to be able to access anything. For phone calls, he has to have money on the phone to be able to call. I know they get like one 15-minute free call. And I don't know if he's married or in a relationship that he's using that free call for that, or not using it at all. For my son too, substance use was an issue the first time he was incarcerated, and the withdrawal was really bad. So there wasn't a lot of communication in the beginning because his withdrawal was so bad. But it sounds like if he was in there in March, and that is an issue, shouldn't be anymore. But so, writing to him, continuing to write to him. You like literacy and books. I don't know if he likes to read too. You probably gave him that gift. You can send books. You can't send them through Amazon for some reason, but I use bookshop.org it's a company out of New York. They use small bookstores to send it, and they've accepted those books. I think maybe Barnes and Noble, they do too. And then it sounds like you also live pretty far away from him, but just showing up for hearings and being in court, and he can see that you're there. If you can go to a few of the hearings or show up, that would also maybe show some support for him. Can't stop. can't stop you from doing that, right? But and then he would know that you're there. Those are just a few things that I can think of that maybe you could do that to show your support. So
Thanks, Teresa. All right, we have 5 minutes before Deborah's got to get off. Judy?
Yeah, I want to acknowledge Deborah for the courage that it takes to reach out to your community, us, and share your story. The other thing I wanted to share within our community is, I think last time we met, Tracy was talking about doing some work with it, writing letters for expungement for clearing someone's record. And I wanted to share that this past weekend, I was volunteering with Defy Ventures in Torrance, and Quan Huynh was the leader there. He's the author of Sparrow and the Razor Wire. Neil had him speak to us. He's been incarcerated 22 years for murder. And he had just learned last week that his record in Orange County had been expunged. And as he was sharing about it, the guy broke down in tears that he couldn't believe that after all the things that had happened in his life, that his record was now cleared based on all the good work that he's been doing. So I wanted to share that with you. So thank you. And thank you, Deborah.
Thank you. Karen, I think someone else had their hand up.
I put it in the chat so that everybody could see it. During our ordeal, Bob came home one day and he said, Karen, he said, I found myself smiling and I felt bad because I was smiling because Jeffrey's incarcerated and I just felt so bad about laughing and smiling. And I told him, I said, hey, we have to be joy during this. No matter what the circumstances are, I'm creating the possibility of joy. And that's what I was for my family when we got together. Jeffrey wasn't there. He was missing. Everybody kind of, was like walking around. But I was a possibility of joy. And I brought that to my family during Christmas and Thanksgiving when he wasn't available. So I just wanted to say that.
And at a last Wisdom Weekend, that's kind of what was one of the inquiries, is like asserting that all human beings were made for untold joy. So that could be a place to be. Yes. Peg.
Yeah, so my kids are 58, 56, and my twins are 51. And all during their lives, I was told they were heading straight to prison. I thought they were just spirited children and they did this work. But probably the worst, I was applying to become a forum leader. And on the day that I had this huge application, my twins, my older twin, Sean, had run away from home. And I can still remember driving with his brother Brady, and he'd say, oh, he's just at the arcade. I had my mother, I had people praying off. But this is what I remember. If indeed he's been kidnapped and killed, I will spend the rest of my life to do whatever I can to ensure that kids have a chance. The really good news is he was as afraid of the dark as me. The story was he'd been at school, and without his brother, he felt like he didn't belong. So he'd put an apple in his toothbrush in his backpack, and he'd left home and walked along the creek. As I say, he was afraid of the dark.
Got it.
Which hadn't come home. But the capacity, of us to create in the midst of, all possibility, it could very well have been true that he was kidnapped and killed. But I'm so moved. Deborah, always here for you, whatever you need. And Teresa, you too, because, it didn't have to turn out what turned out with my kids. What I see is it would not have changed who I am for the world.
Thank you,
If
Beck.
anything,
Just let's
it would
everyone give a big, Deborah's got to leave, so let's thank you, Deborah, for your courage and your and who you are as a graduate and as a human being.
Thank you so much, everybody. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you again.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yay.
Thank
Love
you.
you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you all. We've got a few minutes. Go ahead, Linda. You're muted. Dope.
Hold on, there you go. Did that unmute me?
Yes.
Yes. I have a question for whoever goes into the prisons. I'm in Upland, California. I'm in San Bernardino County. All right. And the only groups that I personally know that go are Toastmaster clubs. And I believe they stopped going when Toastmasters moved from Orange County to somewhere in Colorado. And so I'm wondering, how would I find a way to
Well,
go visit?
most of the 12-step groups will go, take a meeting in there, as well as a lot of faith-based organizations. So if
Okay.
you're a
So
member
if
of either
I'm not a
of those,
member of a 12-step group, though, then I would need to find one.
and then,
Judy and I
then
can connect you.
We
And-
can help you, Linda, because you're in
Okay.
California,
Well,
LA
you're
area. We're
close to
down here in Southern
Norco.
California.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, if you're in
Lancaster,
Norco, I
Norco.
can go to Norco. That's not far at all.
Yep.
That's like 15
Yep.
miles.
yeah, and
Mhm.
usually it's like the chaplaincy program is like that a good contact, and they'll if it's not run by them, it's run by they'll know who to get you connected.
Okay, because I think I'm very interested.
Yay, yeah,
That's great.
I,
and definitely
unfortunately, I
Tracy
was
and Judy
locked
can
in
get
the
you connected.
other side of the law and order. My father was a district attorney. My grandfather was a judge. So locked in a different cage, but cages
Wow.
nonetheless. Thank you.
Got it. Thank you. Yeah, there's always a place to be of service. If either, yeah, because even in your local county jails, there's certain organizations that go in. Like I said, the 12-step programs, faith-based organizations that that bring a meeting into those facilities as well. Not
Right.
just
Well,
the state.
there's
Yep.
a county facility in Rancho Cucamonga.
Yep.
When they arrest people in the city I'm in, they go like 5 miles away to that jail.
Yep. Yep.
Thank you.
Good. Anything else for the good in the order?
Yeah, I just want to throw in that actually city jails are the worst, county are the next worst, state is the next worst.
That's how it
And
occurs
then
to you, Kent.
No, talking to lots of people in prison, that as far as how you're taken care of and how you're treated, that there is
Depends on
actually a hierarchy.
state by state, county by county. As
Well,
a
the
general,
worst-
County,
yeah, you're only in one
The
facility.
worse it is, the bigger the contribution you might be able to make.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just don't want to get locked in or locked out of generalities, because
No, Robert,
You're
this was
right.
from interviewing a lot of people while I was incarcerated.
and it's only one point of view. That's what I'm getting at. It's not wrong
No.
or right. Just Ken, got it. All right. Anything else for the good in the order?
Hey, did she say where her son was located?
Texas, I think she said.
He had originally, she did not.
She
Austin,
did.
near Austin.
He did say,
He was
Austin,
arrested in
Texas.
Austin, Texas.
no, Belton.
Belton, okay.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah,
local area, okay. Thank you.
Okay. Yay. We'll see you all July 14th.